Mondi is an integrated paper and packaging group which is dual listed on the JSE and on the London Stock Exchange. Its combined market cap is 84.4 billion rand. It has operations run from the growing of wood and the manufacture of pulp and paper to corrugated packaging, industrial bags and coatings. Price to earnings ratio of 19.3, dividend yield of 2%. Rowan, what are your thoughts on Mondi?
This has been an amazing story. The share's up 95% year to date. It's been a fantastic performer, and it still doesn't look expensive. It's an unbundling out of the Anglo operations. It has been transforming itself from a very moribund paper business into a much more exciting consumer-led packaging business. They've got great exposure to both the developed markets in the form of Europe and also emerging markets across Asia, cement packaging bags in Asia, and as well as good operations in South Africa. It's a very exciting story and has been a great stock.
Paul, have you any interest in the paper stocks in general?
Well, not significant really. It's not a sector that we've been very positive on, but we have owned Mondi in our hot stocks portfolio. We bought them, we made big money quickly, part of that 95% March higher, not all of it sadly. But I mean, it really is an interesting story because they made a couple of strategic moves about a decade ago, which have changed the course of the group since they came out of the Anglo company, as Rowan says. They focused on countries where there were cheap sources of pulp supply. So Russia, Turkey, Eastern Europe, all sorts of places nobody else wanted to go. And they focused away from the glossy, wood-free coated papers that are used in magazines and that kind of application. They focused specifically on corrugated, on some A4 and other packaging-related products. They got shot of the local plastics and other business we'll talk about in a little bit called Impact. And in recent months, it really has suddenly come to the fore. So it's kind of surprising to me, but I guess the roots of that success were in fact planted many years ago.
David Hathorn is still at the helm, isn't he, Rowan?
Yes, so he's done a fantastic job. They're focusing on all the right things. As Paul was saying, they've repositioned the business. They're also very much focusing on efficiency and return on capital and being in the right markets with the right partners. So part of their strategy has been following their global consumer brands businesses in the markets in they operate. As Paul said, they're in all those exciting emerging territories like Turkey, like Asia and Africa as well. And they've got great exposure across the spectrum. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get exposure to recovering developed market consumers as well as the emerging consumer. So it's a good story.
Paul, I hope you haven't missed the boat on this one and that you're not going to find an entry point because the stock is rallying.
Yeah, you would think with the stock up 95% that that's it. Game, set and match. It's now gone from deeply discounted to adequately priced and there's no more opportunity. But I think as Rowan says, all that's happened is the earnings have surprised to the upside. The costs have come under control. Management has projected the same story, but it's almost as though finally now the market started paying attention. But in terms of its forward multiples, its current business really doesn't look too expensive. And remember, it's got that dual capital structure, so it is present in the London markets. And, you know, the London investors, there's some big money there, and they're always looking for interesting emerging market type opportunities.
Well, let's go hot or not on this one, Rowan.
Yeah, I'm still hot.
Paul?
Yep, looks good, even at this level. Hot.
Nampak, which is Africa's largest packaging company with operations in South Africa, other African countries and Europe. It produces packaging products from metals, paper, plastics and glass.